My God, things are so funny, it's actually tragic. So, a lot of people ask me, like, why do I care about the United States? Why do I care about the economy? Well, empathy aside, I just don't like seeing poor people, especially like hardworking people that end up being poor for reasons that have nothing to do with them. But it's also that Americans, a lot of you guys, are giving me donations. Okay? I want Americans to have money. If Americans don't have money, I don't have money. But all jokes aside, I'm also in NATO, okay? Romania next to Russia, NATO, important. America, right? It's great. If America has a strong military to defend Romania, I want America to actually be doing good. I genuinely think, without a shadow of a doubt, that the world is a lot better if America is doing great. Because the alternative isn't better. There will always be a world hegemon. And if you look at how America treated people in the past, both its allies and its enemies, it's a lot better than how Russia did it. It's a lot better than how China does it. Pick any nation you want and you'd say, you know what, like we would be a lot more comfortable if this superpower was in charge. I can't think of any when it comes to human rights. And again, I'm not saying America doesn't do human rights abuses, heaven forbid. No, of course they do. Of course, every single nation does it. But what I'm saying, like, when you put it in a balance, America seems a lot better than the alternative, right? So, looking at what the administration currently in the United States is doing is a little bit worrisome. And again, like, I'm a Romanian coming up to tell you that, yeah, it's a little bit bizarre. Now, I understand corruption, and I understand how nice it is to say that you're for the environment and you're going to shut down the Keystone Pipeline and thousands of people get to lose their jobs while the rich billionaires that funded your campaign and happens to just have the train tracks available to now carry the gas all the way from Canada by train so that he can get a little bit of the money, a little bit of the action. I get how that works, all right? But now it's a little bit more bizarre because one of the most important pipelines in the United States has been the victim of a cyber attack. Allegedly, all right? Like, this is what we know. And the government response has been very interesting.
So first, we recognize that victims of cyber attacks often face a very difficult situation, and they have to just balance often the cost-benefit when they have no choice with regard to paying a ransom. Colonial is a private company and will defer information regarding their decision on paying a ransom to them.
Would the administration offer any advice on whether or not to pay a ransom?
So typically that is a private sector decision, and the administration has not offered further advice at this time. Given the rise in ransomware, that is one area we're definitely looking at now to say what should be the government's approach to ransomware actors and to ransoms overall.
Okay, now, in normal people's minds, an attack on the energy sector is of a national concern. You do that shit to the Russians, there's going to be repercussions, alright? If you even think of doing something like this to the Chinese, heads will roll. But in America, oh, my private company, oh, they can handle themselves. This is literally like the government saying, like you're calling the police department, it's like, hey, my daughter has been kidnapped. What do I do? Do I pay the ransom or not? Oh, well, no, that's just like a civic matter. It's like, you need to work. What the fuck is wrong with people now? How can you take this administration seriously? If it's not printing money, if it's not burning your jobs, it doesn't give a shit when the gas prices go up. Like the gas prices isn't just like driving your car to work. No, that's the least of your worries. Every single item, this, for example, costs gas to produce. And even if an item doesn't cost gas to produce, you still need the item transported to the store, right? Which costs gas, because we don't transport them via teleportation. Like the Star Trek Discovery, very progressive, hasn't been in orbit yet. So it can't just beam scurry up things and transport the... No, like you need gas, you morons. It costs money. When the gas goes up, the price for this shit goes up as well. All the parts that are required to assemble this shit cost gas. And I didn't mention like the grocery. Oh, do you think, like the world is affected? Wait until they realize that the impoverished are going to be affected the most. Yes, the people of color that the left cares about the most, they're going to be very affected by this. It's quite interesting. Another explanation that they gave, which is even funnier, it's like, there's no gas shortage. All right? No. There isn't a gas shortage. The problem is with the logistics. Oh, I see. Wow. But it blew my mind that I didn't think about it. Like Japan, you know why it went to war with America during World War II? Because America boycotted gas from it. If only you had these Einsteins at the helm of the Japanese government to say, look. There's not a gas shortage, okay? Like, gas exists. It's just that it's in America, and we need to find a way to bring it here. Like, that is the only problem. It's like, the gas exists, okay? Like, it is out there somewhere. We just need to make it... You know what? Like, at this point, they might just say, hey, rare earth minerals, they're not so rare. I mean, that is space. I mean, yeah, we got asteroids with rare earth minerals just flying by us all the fucking time. What do you say there's a shortage in rare earth minerals? What are you, crazy? The media is perfectly fine with this. They're perfectly okay with it. I just think, by the way, like this happened in China recently. They decided to ban the imports on Australian coal, and you had like businesses that had to shut down early. You had people being left in the dark. Energy is one of the most important things for a nation, you moron. You can't run a military without an energy. If you look throughout human history, every single major empire that managed to conquer the rest of the world, and I know empire's bad, okay, but you can't just suck a cock while you say that morality. If they have a bigger army than you, they're going to impose their will on you, regardless of your, bourgeois standards. All the empires in the history, you know what? They had access to the most efficient energy at the time. The Roman Empire had access to wood. The British had access to coal. America, during World War II, had access to oil. During the Cold War, they had access to nuclear. If you want to fuck a nation, but like the thing that you can do, like one thing, you just have one thing that you can fuck a nation irredeemably, fuck with its energy production. That's it, and it's crippled. It's gone. It's like, it doesn't even matter. That's the difference between a first world nation and, how did the left say, a developing nation. Yeah, the energy. That's literally it. Like, if you have energy to produce stuff, then you're the top of the world. Then you can do whatever you want. Automation is the... How are you going to have automation with no energy? I just like the fact that the fact that the government isn't treating this as a crisis. What the fuck is a crisis then? Seriously, what is the crisis? Oh yeah, like some Caitlyn Jenner her opinions about women's sports is a crisis. Yeah, like that's the priority right now. Cultural issues, they are the pivotal, the creme de la creme, the most important thing that society has to worry about. Things like the energy, whatever. And by the way, you have the exact same energy, the exact same sentiment being echoed in the United Kingdom right now. You got people like Ash Sarkar, very wealthy, very powerful people that get invited on a lot of talk show news. They identify as socialists. They probably identify as a citizen of the world. That's how nationalistic they are. That's how much they care about the country. Who think that, oh my God, the United Kingdom founded on imperialism and suffering. But they love London, by the way. All of a sudden, all their nationalism is found when it comes to London. Again, like these people shake hands with Hitler from the other side of the horseshoe. Like they're hyper nationalistic, just not with the nation, but like with smaller tribes, I suppose. Anyway, right? They're like, I don't like people disparaging London because yes, sure, like we have the highest rate of child poverty and homelessness and high crime rates and the knife epidemic, the stabbing, and you get Owen Jones having his phone stolen 3 times. Okay, 3 times his phone was stolen while he's on the street. Has that ever happened to you, by the way? Like, did you actually ever felt afraid to pull out this device and speak on your phone and be afraid that someone would steal it? If yes, that's not normal, by the way. That's not okay. That's not what a normal society should look like, especially a first world nation. But they're literally saying, like, mask is completely off. They're saying, you know what? Like, maybe all of those things are bad, but we're diverse, but we're tolerant, but we're progressive. It's like, oh my fucking God. I literally have a black person who lives in London, and he says, like, just please call me the N-word, but fix the crime rate. Like, he's begging for it. Just think, like, please. Please give me the harsh language, but at least make sure that people have jobs. Please fix the income disparity. Please fix all of this shit. Like, can we focus on the things that actually matter and they affect human lives on an actual level? Like putting food on the table is important. You know, sending your kid to a hospital is important. And then you can think about the cultural issues and tone police people. But first, can we at least, please, like, focus on what matters? There's going to be problems, okay? Like, you already have airplanes which are having to land in another part of the country in order to refuel. The fact that there's people lining up for gas, that's not the issue, okay? Like, if this keeps up, you're going to see prices explode. The price of wood has already been exploding. Like, I'm telling you this, I've been through hyperinflation in Romania. Do you know what the first sign of hyperinflation is? When you have people on television, experts saying there is no hyperinflation. Telling you, like, just don't buy rare mineral, don't buy anything, just keep doing what you're, everything is fine, everything is fine. It happened here, alright? There have been people that I know of who lost their life savings. Like, their entire life, they save money in order to have something when they grow older. They lost everything. Like, people lost big time with the all the money you have is worthless. What is hyperinflation? So that you can understand in layman's term, the prices skyrocket. Okay, like let's say this phone, let's say it would cost, I don't know, $600. All right, hyperinflation would make this phone cost $6 million. That's what it means. If it gets really bad, all your money now that you have, do you have 6 million? No, it's worthless. You might have 6 million in the future, right? Because your wage goes up as well. That's the good thing, I suppose. But again, like, it's very difficult to buy shit when all the prices are skyrocketing. Everything becomes expensive. That's hyperinflation. And I suppose you can say, well, you know, if this phone will cost $6 million, then I can sell it for $6 million, right? I guess, yeah, you can. You absolutely can. But you know what? The next day, the same phone will cost $12 million, because that's what happens. Like, the prices constantly go up and up and up and up and up, and you're just struggling to keep up with the money that you're making. All your savings, every single penny that you put aside to save becomes worthless the next day. Saving just doesn't exist anymore if you're using dollars. This is nation-wrecking level shit. Look at other nations that did the same, okay? Zimbabwe. Just look throughout human history. Like, if I wouldn't manage to have access to cripple a nation's energy sector in order to ruin it, then I would try to hyperinflate its economy. And then it also leads to mass poverty, mass famine, and all the good stuff that comes with it. It's almost like they're trying, you know what, like, maybe if we mess with the energy sector, it's not going to cripple America properly. Let's also use hyperinflation at the same time. It's already happening when it comes to the wood, but I'm pretty sure, like, they're going to say, no, that has nothing to do with it. Yes, maybe it doesn't. I don't fucking know at this point. But what I do know is that apparently an attack on a country's infrastructure, like the key thing, the most important aspect of any nation, the energy, that's not a crisis. That's my private company can do whatever it wants. Oh, fascinating. The Green New Deal isn't going to make private companies do anything, right? Oh, my fucking God. At this point, I'm just staying in for the ride. Like, I'm wondering just how worse can it get. You know, why do you think Bill Gates just bought so much farmland? I'll tell you why. Because if the dollar goes to shit, you will always have value on arable land. When a rich person does a move like this, it's because he thinks he's going to make a profit in the long run. It's simple. It's not like some difficult to understand read. Gas prices go up, jobs go down, they're printing dollars like crazy. At this moment, it is difficult to think whether it's incompetence or whether it is malice. Like, Occam's razor needs to hit at one point, and you gotta wonder, like, are they really that incompetent? Are they? You know what the solution is? No, I know what the solution is, all right? put Hunter Biden in charge. He's got a lot of expertise when it comes to the energy sector. I mean, he worked in Ukraine. I think he even visited Romania. He's an expert when it comes to really having the finger on the pulse on the energy crisis. So with his expertise, I don't worry anymore about the United States. I think it's in safe hands. You know, like if you put him as an advisor, he's going to fix it right away. He's going to, all right, this is what we do. This is what happens with the hackers. By the way, like fun fact, like this is another fun fact, okay? Russians hack the elections, okay? Then it's Russian aggression. But these hackers, oh no, they're apolitical. How the fuck do you know they're apolitical? How do you know? Like, does it write on their forehead? Do you know that they're better question. Why can apolitical hackers cripple the American infrastructure? Like some random twat in a basement has the ability to cripple American infrastructure. Is that something, huh? The heck do I know? I'm just a Romanian. I have dumb takes and dumb opinions. You know, just ignore what I said. I'm just here to make you laugh, make you smile. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you guys there.